Rock Nation and Jay-Z's betrayal of the black community and schemes against Colin Kaepernick gets revealed, gets put on blast by multiple people with different agendas. That's how you know something is validated, when multiple people is telling the same story. Now, these confirmations only confirm what we already knew regarding Jay-Z's and his relationship with the NFL, and essentially what Jay-Z partnered with the NFL for. It's no secret that Jay-Z has made a bulk of his wealth being an overseer for black folks. If a company, for one reason or another, got black folks on their tail, got black folks boycotting them, they hired Jay-Z as a mercenary to get black folks off their behind and to repivot our attention. He has done this time after time, but the most flagrant example is what he did with Colin Kaepernick. See, when Colin Kaepernick took a stance for police brutality and was boycotting in the NFL, and the NFL then decided to boycott him and not give him any more jobs or take away his opportunities because he was boycotting police brutality, Jay-Z was one of the first people to hop on board and try to co-opt the movement to benefit himself. And the moment Jay-Z realized that it would be beneficial to turn against the movement, Jay-Z did. To really put into words how flagrant what Jay-Z did, you kind of have to go back. Like when Travis Scott was set to perform at the Super Bowl, Jay-Z chastised him for going against Rock Nation because Rock Nation and Jay-Z was boycotting the Super Bowl. He was kind of taken away from Colin Kaepernick and trying to present himself as the leader of the movement. When the NFL approached Jermaine Dupri to help with social justice initiatives, Jay-Z told Jermaine Dupri, don't do it. Don't work with them. We boycotting them. And the minute the NFL came to Jay-Z with a deal, Jay-Z abandoned the initiative, Jay-Z abandoned everything, and Jay-Z began to work with the NFL. But that's not what this video is about. No, this video is about not only did Jay-Z begin to work for the NFL, Jay-Z began to work for the NFL as a mercenary. Jay-Z began to attack, tear down, and try to exterminate Colin Kaepernick on behalf of the NFL to make him go away. This is sickening. You see, Gilly the Kid explains it perfectly, how Jay-Z utilizes his real estate and cachet in the culture to enrich himself while effing over everybody else.
They call us, right? They say, Gilly, we want to invite you to the Rock Nation brunch. I'm the that said, why would I want to come? Why wouldn't you want to come? I said, you want me to keep it real with you, or you want me to lie to you?
Keep it a buck.
I said, the Rock Nation brunch ain't of nothing but Jay-Z putting a bunch of on the lawn and then going in the back door and saying, I told you I still run this shit. Give me the money.
Wow.
You think I'm letting them use my brand? Huh? See, rich shit like this.
Yeah, I see how you turn to that.
I got this shit from Russell and them. I ain't there yet. But I be seeing the rich shit like this. You know, they get a little money, they cross their legs and shit. That's all this is, man. Let's keep it real. I operate with 26 major brands. You think I don't know what branding is? Come on, we don't work from New Amsterdam Vodka, Manscaped, Harrier Razors, Roman Swipes, you name them. Mm-hmm. They come to $1 million worth of game because we move the needle. I don't let nobody allow to use my brand with their brand. What do you get from going to these parties except for a picture? I don't even smile with you if you ain't worth 500 million or more. Let's be for real. The only smiling they do is when the billionaires in the picture. Look at all these broke ass on the lawn.
The NFL gave Jay-Z a $25 million deal to help with the Super Bowl halftime performance, but that's not really why Jay-Z did it. You see, Jay-Z put his cachet and his stake in the culture at risk because Jay-Z's ultimate goal is to own an NFL team. Jay-Z's seen it. This is the route to go. Prove my allegiance to the NFL after I try to boycott them, make their biggest problem, Colin Kaepernick, go away. And once I do that, well, then maybe they would award me with a team. Maybe later on down the line, I could purchase a team. So when Jay-Z began his partnership with the NFL, Rock Nation began to work against Colin Kaepernick. Rock Nation began a smear campaign against Colin Kaepernick with multiple platforms within the culture to make sure that Colin Kaepernick and his influence dwindles, it diminishes, so it no longer affects the NFL. Jay-Z became a mercenary for the NFL. Now, Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend went on live and she spoke briefly, kind of vague about it, but it was Van Lathan who followed up, who spoke as clear as day, dropped names, and really broke down exactly what Rock Nation and Jay-Z did. But let's hear Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend kind of give us a couple pieces of the puzzle before we hear Van Lathan really tie it in.
I know it's a lot happening, but, I'm not new to this. We've been saying this for years. Look at the timeline, especially 2019. Lots of articles, lots of journalists did good investigative work to really unearth what was going on with the NFL doing everything they possibly can to get rid of the controversy of teams not signing Colin Kaepernick because of his peaceful protest. Go back to the timeline. My Twitter, my Instagram, it's all there. And how the NFL, yes, they did use Jay-Z to smooth it over. That's why you're getting, I'm sure, great shows that I do not watch or support. I don't care who's on that stage. I don't care. I don't watch that league because it doesn't change the fact that they wrongfully punished Colin for his peaceful protest. Colin was not protesting his employment. No, he was protesting police killing Black people, systemic racism. And the worst part about during that time were the smear campaigns that were happening behind the scenes to try to discredit Colin publicly, to sway people to think that Colin was okay being blackballed or he was asking for a lot of money.
And you know who was behind the smear campaign? Well, you guessed it, bruh. Rock Nation. At this point, bruh, we got to start calling Jay-Z BB. Because BB and Jay-Z got very similar characteristics, bruh. They sit behind the scenes and they manipulate. Jay-Z was trying to tear down and destroy a cultural icon like Colin Kaepernick. Oh, I thought Jay-Z was for Black people. And this is not a conspiracy. Somebody who was in the room can confirm that Rock Nation gave them a call, asking them to push a terrible story and a lie about Colin Kaepernick. Van Lathan was in the room. Here is Van Lathan speaking up because he feels like everybody else is silent and he don't want Vanessa to be out here by herself, especially if she's speaking the truth that a lot of people know is the truth, but they're silent on.
It was Nessa, and she was talking about Nicki Minaj's claims about a smear job that Jay-Z had against Colin Kaepernick. All right. I have to say this. I think the thing here, and I've told this story before, I think the thing here is the Jay-Z part of it. Obviously, that's the biggest deal.
I don't know why the Jay-Z part will be a gray area. Jay-Z signed a deal with the NFL. Jay-Z's name is on that contract. Jay-Z is the owner of Rock Nation. So if Rock Nation is calling media platforms pushing a story in a smear campaign against Colin Kaepernick on behalf of the NFL, then yeah, Jay-Z is involved. Like, no, okay? No, I'm not. No, Jay-Z don't get to like dodge escape here. Oh, what? The local publicist at Rock Nation was calling media companies pushing negative stories about Colin Kaepernick on behalf of the NFL without Jay-Z knowing? I'm not buying that at all, bro. That's not even plausible or reasonable. Of course Jay-Z was involved.
But when Nessa's talking right there, there's a part of me that feels bad about letting her be on her own with saying that. And this is the reality. This is what happens, at least in what happened, at least in this one instance, because I was there. I know for sure. I'm not saying it was Jay-Z. I can't say that Jay-Z did anything, right? But I know for sure, that Rock Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with Jay-Z. For sure. I've told this story before, I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit, right? So I'm at my desk one time. This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more credit than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone I know who was on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Rock Nation contact is, right? I just got this information on the phone. And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right? He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training or he sabotaged himself this way or whatever. Actually, it was the same thing that people had started to hear on First Take. And it was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right? And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff and he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z. I think if we run what essentially was a hit piece on Colin Kaepernick, I don't think we have the cultural cachet to do that. Number one, to insert ourselves into the middle of that situation. And also, I think it's choosing a side in something that is literally at the core of a culture, of a Black cultural discussion right now. I don't think we should do it. And he listened.
It's been about 5 years or so a lot of people have forgotten. But at this time, a lot of people was giving Jay-Z flack for taking a deal because it felt like betrayal. It felt like Jay-Z crossed that picket line. Jay-Z was the one that was chastising, criticizing any and everyone who performed at the Super Bowl, right? He put himself at the forefront of a movement that had nothing to do with him. Colin Kaepernick didn't ask him for his help. Jay-Z wanted to be, again, cachet in the culture is how that's the only currency Jay-Z has is his cachet in the culture. Jay-Z is doing deals with zero upfront capital because they believe he has cachet in the culture. So Jay-Z put himself at the forefront of this movement, trying to boss people around, telling them not to perform, boycott the NFL because he wanted to co-opt the movement. He successfully co-opted the movement and then told the NFL, you wanted to go away, right? Hey, I want in. I want parts of the NFL. So then they gave him the Super Bowl. And now he has complete control of the Super Bowl halftime performance show. And now Jay-Z has more power. And now I'm pretty sure in about 5 or 10 years, he's probably going to be owning an NFL team. And this is just not right. It's not cool. Now, Van Lathan would say that they ultimately settled on a different story that would kind of, do good PR for Jay-Z, but not throw Colin Kaepernick under the bus. And here's the story they ended up going with instead of the smear campaign that Rock Nation tried to get TMZ to run.
You didn't do it.
He did not do it. He listened. He goes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He listened. I'm like, I don't think we should do that. Like, he listened, right? He went and got back on the phone. And when he came back, there was a different story. And the story that ended up making it to TMZ was that Jay-Z somehow had the inside track on becoming an NFL owner because of his relationship with the NFL. And that ended up being the story. You guys could probably Google that story. I'm sure it's still on the site, that Jay-Z was going to become an NFL owner. And the reason why that story went up is because it was still a story that kind of explained why he had decided to take the deal with the NFL. It was a story that made it make sense to people. Like, oh my God, maybe Jay-Z, as the owner of a team, can then put Colin on a team. Or maybe moving on from the kneeling situation is worth it because we're going to get a Black owner in the NFL.
Or just
Jay-Z sold out his own people to enrich himself. Like, are you shocked? Like, are you shocked that Rock Nation or Jay-Z did this? I'm not at all. This is on brand. Now, TMZ had enough cachet or enough power to say, hey, we're not doing this, Jay-Z. Sorry. Do you think the Shade Room had enough cachet to tell Rock Nation no? Do you think other platforms? Do you think, I don't know, Pop Bass? Do you think My Mixtape? Do you think World Star? All right. Do you? No. I could almost guarantee you, bro. Those other platforms got that call from Rock Nation and Jay-Z, and they say, hell yeah, boss. Oh, this all boss? You sure you don't want us to smear him some more, boss? Man, let me know in the comment section, man. What do you guys think about this, bro? Do y'all believe that Rock Nation and Jay-Z did this? I mean, at this point, if you don't believe this, bro, then you probably on payroll with Rock Nation too, man. But did what Jay-Z do, is it wrong? Do you guys think that Jay-Z did the wrong thing? Let me know in the comment section. And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why the shooter's defense in T Grizzly's aunt murder trial is alleging that T Grizzly put the hit on his aunt. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.